Good day, good day, good day. Good day, everybody. Good day. I hope you are doing well. Ron is starting us off. Oh, there's Tim too. Thank you, Ron. Thank you. I so appreciate that. Oh, you love my outfit too. Okay, now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Tim, for the congratulations. I felt my congregation of joy energy. Yes, I did. I felt every last one of you. Thank you so much. I'm going to share more about the experience in some joy news. Thank you, Stacy. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you all so much. So much. So we're going to get into it, y'all. We're going to get into the apology. You see, I'm representing. Yes, I'm representing. And some good stuff to share. Some good stuff to share. So good day, everyone. Welcome to Sip with Rev Melissa. I am Rev Melissa, and SIP is an acronym for Spirit in Practice. Spirit in Practice. Yes, Vanessa. Thank you, girl. Thank you. Oh, cool. I wasn't sure when the replay was going to be up. So I will post the replay on my stuff also. So thank you for sharing that, Vanessa. All right. Let's get into our series first, y'all. So we're in our Earnest series. We're in our Earnest series. And so let me just remind you of the definition. Serious and zealous intention, sincerity of feeling, a pledge, a promise, an indication of what is to follow, right? An indication of what is to follow. And then yesterday we were talking about the word zealous, right? Because the definition in earnest is a zealous intention. And I love the words that really, it's like a punch, these words to describe zealous. Ardently active, ardently active. Devout devotion, devout devotion. And enthusiastic diligence. Enthusiastic diligence. This is what we mean by being earnest about our lives, about being earnest about being our quality, right? Ardent, devout, enthusiastic, active, devoted, and diligent. All right? All right. And we know that it works. We know that it works. So there's an opportunity for each one of us to prove that it works. And how do we prove that it works? We prove that it works by working it, by doing the work, right? And so I shared yesterday in the It Works pamphlet by RHJ. He wrote, remember, nothing can prevent you from having that which you earnestly desire. And so our homework this week has been about that. What are you earnestly desiring through your quality? What are you earnestly desiring to experience through your quality? What are you earnestly desiring to have through your quality? Right? What do you want? And we are grounding that in the second law of prosperity, the second spiritual law of prosperity, as explained in Edwin Gaines' book, The Four Spiritual Laws. Let's see, there we go. The Four Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. So, the second law is the law of goal setting. And in essence, the law of telling the universe, okay, this is what I would like. This is my order. Place your order with the universe, right? And you know, when you go to a restaurant and the waiter or waitress comes and takes your order, they write it down, right? Most of them write it down. So that's what we need to do. We need to write it down. So that's what we're working on all week long. As it comes to your mind, right? Write it down, right? That's how it usually unfolds for me, right? I get a download here. Oh, yes, yes. Write it down. I get a download there. Oh, yes, write it down. It's rare that my list for the year happens in one setting, in one sitting. It usually happens over a span of time, right? So I'm in March right now, or we all are in March, right? And my list is still formulating, and I'm capturing it as it comes by writing it down. By writing it down. So there's a Bible verse. Pastor Al is on. He'll know where this is from. There's a Bible verse in the Bible that speaks about writing it down and making it plain, right? Writing it down and making it plain. So I just want to read. And the Lord answered me, write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it. This vision is for the future time. It describes the end and it will be fulfilled. If it seems slow in coming, wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed, right? So we're talking about our vision for our lives. Yes? We're talking about our vision for our lives. So the vision is yet for the appointed time. And what is the appointed time? The appointed time is God's time, the divine right time. That's the appointed time. It's not hurrying towards the goal because it will not fail. It will not fail. Even though we have to wait, we wait patiently for it because it will certainly come. It will not be delayed. It will not be delayed. So write it down, make it plain. Don't leave your desires in the thought zone. Don't leave it in the thought zone. Get it out on paper. Write it with your hands, right? You could transpose it into your computer later, but write it down. Put yourself in the experience of it flowing through you, through your hands onto the paper, right? And then take it in every single day. Meditate on it, look at it, read it out loud, right? Throughout the day. And the pamphlet, it works. He lays out a 3-step process of how it works. And one of the things that he says is to write it down. Write it down. He says, after you write it down, read the list of what you want 3 times each day, morning, noon, and night. Think of what you want as often as possible. Do not talk to anyone about your plan except to the great power within you, which will unfold to your objective mind the method of accomplishment. Right? And when I read this before, it reminded me of this other book that I have called How to Solve Your Money Problems Forever. And it was the same practice, right? Because it's based in principle. And when I read that book, it was at a time in my life that I wanted to go to school in California. And I wrote it out. I put it down on a piece of paper. I read it out loud 3 times a day. And not only that, in that book, his advice was to write it over and over and over again. So in the morning, I would write it over, like just pick a number. And I just happened to pick 25, I think, at the time. So every single day in the morning, I wrote over and over again, I am attending USM with grace and ease. I am attending USM with grace and ease. In the morning and in the evening, 25 times, right? Religiously What? With devout devotion, right? Did it take time to do that? Yes, but that's what I want. So if I'm not going to devote time to what I want, but I could devote, let's say, a half an hour to the Daily Show. At that time, Jon Stewart already had what he wanted. He wanted to have a show, right? He had what he wanted. So I'm going to sit there and watch somebody who already has what they want and not focus on what I want? Oh, no. Oh, no. So we get to choose. We get to choose. I say this with love. I don't care what's going on in your life. You get to choose what you are focusing on, how you are spending your time, if you will write this down or not. You get to decide that. You get to decide that. No matter what is happening in the world, right? There's a lot of talk and upset and energy around what is happening in the Ukraine, right? Now, you could choose to sit and watch CNN for hours and hours and hours. You could choose to do that. Or you could write, I am peace. I am peace. I am peace. That would be more productive than sitting and watching it on TV, right? As an example. So, what is it that you want? Are you ardent, devout, enthusiastic about it? Does it show up in your activity? Does it show up in your thinking, in your speaking, in what you're doing? How is it showing up? Right? And if it's not showing up at all, then lean into it even more. Double down. Double down. Increase everything that you're doing by a little bit. Yes? All right. So it's important to write it down, right? If the waitress came over and said, what would you like, right? And you tell her, and she doesn't write it down, and then she goes and she takes everybody else's order in the restaurant, writes down none of it, comes back and gives you somebody else's order. We don't want that. So we're writing it down. We're placing our order with the universe. Yes? Because we want to give it something to run with. I love that part in the verse that says, write the vision, make it plain, so he may run who reads it. So we're running with this. We're reading it and we are running with it. Yes? Oh, yes. And the other part is to be patient. We want everything today, right? Instant gratification. Yes? Yes. So if it seems slow in coming, just trust. This is where trust comes in. Trust and having faith that it's on its way, that it's going to come at the right time, right on time. And I know we have all had that experience of something happening right on time. Right on time, in little ways, right? Finding something that we were looking for right in the nick of time, right? And then there are bigger things that happen right on time, right on time. So the when, y'all, is God's time. Remember the rule, right? The what and the why is mine. The how and the when is God's. Don't get them mixed up. Stay in your lane, right? Do what is yours to do. And be earnest about it because it works. The law works. The law works. I was remembering having this conversation with Sekou when the pandemic first happened. And we were sharing about like what we wanted, right? And I happened upon a video by Steve Harvey. And he said to write a list of 300 things that you want. Remember that, Sekou? He's like, yeah, in the green room. 300 things. And we were like, what? 300. I never got to 300, y'all. But I think I got to like 3 digits. I think I got to 100 and something. Right? So I'm not even saying 300 things. Just start with a couple of things. Just start is what I'm saying. Just start. Start with that one thing, right? To indicate that you're serious, that you're earnest about your life and about living the life that you were destined and designed to live. So the choice is up to you. The choice is up to me. What you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right. All right. Let me see if there's anything. Oh, one last thing I want to say, because in the definition of earnest, it also states an indication of what is to follow. And I think I said this yesterday, but I want to stress it. What you do today is an indication of what will follow. If you are doing the exact same thing today, no spiritual practice, foggy, fuzzy about doing your work, inconsistent, what's going to follow tomorrow? More of what you experienced today, if not the exact same day, right? If not the exact same day. So what we do today informs our tomorrow. All right, y'all. All right. So we're going to wrap up. Wait, today is Wednesday. I keep thinking today is Thursday. I don't know why. So we'll continue with our Earnest series tomorrow and Friday. I think we're going to do a roll call on Friday. Yeah, I think we're going to do a roll call on Friday because we're earnest about our quality, aren't we? Yes, we are. So let's get into some joy news. All right. So you know what's on the top of the hour for me is my experience yesterday at the Apollo Theater. I'm representing. This was in my swag bag. And you know what else was in my swag bag? This is just more evidence, y'all. When God says, "I'll prove me now." Okay. So let me show you something. On my vision board, I have this word, transcendence, right? I did this vision board January 8th, 2022, right? It's part of my quality, right? So we get our goodie bag, and I get the t-shirt that I just love, right? And it even says Apollo on the back. Loving all of that, right? It's red. I love it, right? We also received this tote. And what word is on the tote bag? What word do you see? Let me see if I could get it good. Transcending. It says Black women transcending. Okay. Transcendence. Okay. It works. It works. It works. What did I want? Next level living. join these keynote speakers as the largest women's conference in the country. It's a step towards that. I was at the world famous Apollo Theater. What? So, what do you want? What do you want? Yes, Reverend Jennifer. God never says no, just not yet. Yes, to waiting, having patience. Yes, yes, yes. Reverend Jennifer said, I am not surprised, right? Hashtag, of course. Of course. Of course. Thank you all. So it was a wonderful experience. I learned so much about behind the scenes things of putting on a production. I also learned a lot about staying here, staying present, staying present. I learned so much about practicing not comparing myself because I felt myself going there, right? I felt myself going there into the land of comparison. Mm-mm. Not a place I want to go. So I just kept taking deep breaths. I kept saying, I am joy. I kept being in the present moment. And I kept being grateful. Grateful for everything, everything. So it was a wonderful experience. I'm glad they have the replay available already. I will post that on my website and on my social media. So if you didn't have the opportunity to see it, please check it out. It was awesome. It was awesome. Yes, Vanessa. She said doing this was the prep for that. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's all a practice. It's all a practice. Thank you, Tim. You are transcending into your greatness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And then the icing on the cake was when it was over, because I had my phone on airplane mode. And when I took it off, all the messages from you came through. So I had all these text messages from many of you from my congregation of joy, my family, other friends. It was so awesome. You took pictures on this from the screen and sent it to me. It was just so great. It was just so great. So I thank you all for the love and for the support. And there's one of them. There's one of them that I think Sekou, you did this one. Yeah, it's a picture that Sekou took. This was at the closing. So I was doing the closing joy activity. And it was just wonderful. It was wonderful. So let's move on to Living Life in Joy, our show that comes on Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Again, I'm stressing for you to watch last Sunday's show with Angela Corley, the food scientist. It's amazing, amazing. There she is. She's the founder and executive director of the George Washington Carver Research Institute. This Sunday, we have another dynamic woman who is doing her thing, right? Who is living in her purpose, who is transcending, right? And what it is that she is here to do. So tune in for her on this Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Then right after that, we have Sunday in Praise at Rockland CSL, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And we're in our March theme, God is my source. God is my source. And this Sunday, the talk is fears, faith, and feats. Oh my. Fear, faith, and feats. Oh my. That's where we're going this Sunday. So please join us, rocklandcsl.org for the Zoom link. Just click on Sunday service, or you can watch us on Facebook. We're live streaming on Facebook. So that's this Sunday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Then we have an upcoming class that starts next week, March 12th. As I mentioned, it's based on the work by Edwin Gaines, The Four Spiritual Laws of Prosperity. The class is called Practicing the Presence of Abundance. Practicing the Presence of Abundance. The investment is $125. You can register now. And I've said the first person from the Congregation of Joy that registers will receive this book for free. I would mail it to you. So register, I would say by tomorrow, so that you could get the book in time. Okay. All right. And we're going to have fun in that class. We're going to do a 21-day fast and a 21-day add-on. So no complaining, no gossiping, no sugar. We're going to fast from sugar, y'all. My producer, Sekou, is shaking his head when I said no sugar. Oh, yeah, we going there. We going there. And more, and more. And then save the date, April 23rd. April 23rd, you're hearing it first here, Congregation of Joy. We are having a trunk show for Asante Jules. That is our girl, Gladys Williams, who is just amazing. We had a trunk show in December last year. We're going to do it again in time for Mother's Day. So please be on the lookout for that and share when I send out the information. That's April 23rd, 6 p.m., and it will be on Zoom. Then the last save the date is for now. The last save the date for now is May 22nd, 11:30 to 4:30. I'm the keynote speaker at a women's empowerment brunch called Control Alt Delete, and that is taking place in the Poconos Summit, Pennsylvania. The cost is $35, and it is in person. And I asked, and it will not be live streamed. You got to be there in person. You can find all of this information on my website, iamrevmelissa.com. All right. All right. All right. So let me just check in with Sekou real quick.
There you go. So you mentioned Steve Harvey in that list. And it's funny because I was already thinking about that when you were talking. So two things. First of all, Steve Harvey had one thing on his list when he was a kid, to be on TV. He was ridiculed for it at school. It was this whole big thing, but he was reinforced by his parents. So he had this one thing on his list. He would take it out every morning and every night and read it. I want to be on TV. That's it. Obviously, he got there. And then more recently, he's been talking about this list of 300 things. And it's funny you brought it up, because in my other gratitude group, we just decided to try again, because we tried before and we hadn't made it to 300. And now one of us has made it to 300. I'm at about 130, and the other guys at about 100. So now that one of us got to 300, the other two of us have to get there, right? And it's so interesting what happens when you get that high up. So I won't spoil the surprise, but it's worth it. Start, as Reverend Melissa said, start with one. Start with one thing. And then when you get that one thing, go make your list of 300. It makes a difference. It really does.
Yes, yes, yes. You remember that, right? It was early on in the pandemic.
I remember. We talked about it. We tried it. And I talked to some other people. We tried it. We didn't do it, but we are doing it now.
Good.
I was working on, and the difference for me is handwriting it, as you've been talking about. I was typing it before on my devices, but this time I'm handwriting it, and it makes a really big difference. I'm excited to see what else comes through, because the list is getting interesting. It's like, oh, that's an interesting thing to want. Oh, wow, look at that. So yeah, I recommend it.
Yes, yes, yes. So let's do that. But let's start with the one thing. Like, just start. Just start. Just start. Just start. Just start. Okay? All right. All right. All right. Let me see. I think that's it. So we're going to wrap up. I will see you all tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you all again for your love, your support, your energy, and for just being here, for being here. So peace and blessings, peace and justice. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes.